Alright, sorry about that. Welcome back to The Embrace in the Shadow Anime Review, episode number 4. Yeah, 4 covering just 10 episodes. Normally this would not happen, but because the last 2 cover 3 episodes, that's the only reason we're like this right now. That's the only reason why. So, we're covering episodes 9 and 10. 9 is pretty much the conclusion to the arc itself. 10 is mostly put the epilogue of the arc that we had for the previous episodes, plus the start of the stuff for book 2, which I'll get to. So, in episode 9, basically is where all the big action stuff happens, where Sherry enacts basically the device that turns magic back on for everybody. And Rose, the class president, leads basically her students against basically the fake Shadow Garden. And of course, Sir Gallant is revealed to be none other than Lutheran, Sherry's adoptive father, where he reveals his dastardly plan. Where, yeah, the fact that, well, the whole thing of like basically him taking her in, that part was true. And like, oh, this mysterious person who murdered her beautiful mother? Yeah, he did it. He killed Sherry's mom. What happened to her father is never really explained at all. It's like her father was never mentioned in the series. I mean, yeah, it is mentioned she's not her actual father. She's basically he is her adoptive father. He adopted her. And affecting financial research. Oh, and the reason why he murdered Sherry's mom, because she wouldn't give him the device that started all the whole nonsense, the magic turn off device. Yeah, so he killed her very slowly, multiple times, and it was very bloody. Yeah, the series is very bloody. So then he's like, oh, you know, just by looking at him, he was Lutheran. And of course, he takes off his helmet, takes off his big cape, shoulder pad, take everything off, put the scarf on, and gets to a fight with Clyde. Like, oh, he presumably stabbed him, and he falls out the window. Like, oh, here comes Shadow, fights him, and then he kills him. And Sherry hates Shadow for it. Doesn't hate Clyde, hates Shadow. And she cries over the fact that her adoptive father's been murdered. And, of course, there's also a big fire that happens that destroys half the freaking school. And because of that, school's over. Well, school's on break until they reconstruct the school, so they have summer break early. Yep. And if you watch episode 9, that's kind of the conclusion of basically, that's kind of like the wrap up. That's kind of like the conclusion of that big story of the whole when Cole Diablo decided to attack the school. 9 is the conclusion to it. 10 is more like the epilogue plus set up for the very next thing. So Rose finds out that Clyde is alive. He's been alive for since episode 8. He didn't really die. So apparently she thinks that is like a confession of his love for him, like him for her, and of course they kind of become boyfriend girlfriend. Alexia is not really involved with this at all. So then, of course, basically goes back home, relaxes for a bit. Claire decides to pop by for a quick cameo. Yes, Claire. You know, the main character's older sister, who is basically screen presence over the course of these 5 episodes, have been nothing more than 2-second cameos. I mean, last time she was seen was back in episode 6. Now, I think Lucy probably felt relieved the fact her character probably gave her a little break because she does a lot of stuff. So I'm not blaming her for this. I blame the studio basically not giving Claire a lot of screen time. So, like, everything's like kind of like smooth back normal, and then of course he's asked to go to this sacred land. Rose decided to join him for the trip, and of course sneak away from her for a bit, even hiding from her. That's why like sort of act like she's acting like his girlfriend. He's like, I need some space. Yep, and then of course basically they get to the town, and apparently Beta has become a writer. And she playwrites stuff from his world and publishes her own work. And she's made a profit of it. He, of course, is a bit disappointed, but he's not angry at her for it. Well, these ladies gotta have jobs outside of basically fighting cold Diablos. They need something relaxing. I mean, Gamma, she runs a company. Beta's a writer. What does Alpha do? Who the heck knows? And it goes gives an assignment. Because a lot of this, basically, a lot. The big game portion of this episode is just basically the finishing of book 1 and a lot from book 2, which I haven't read yet. So, and you're probably thinking, why don't you just go ahead and read it before you watch the episode? Because I was reading a book at the time. So right now I'm reading a book, the 11th book of our last Crusade of the Rise of the World. We're reading book 11, and I'm gonna read the 17th novel, That Time of Crimes and Slime, and then I read book 2 and come back to the series to finish up season 1. And of course, basically, like, those fake Shadow Guard, one of the guys comes back, he gets killed by Clyde. Well, actually, a shadow without his outfit, and he enjoys the view on top of the thing. And also, the Archbishop's been killed. Alpha, from what I can tell, did not do it per se. She just found his body. Like, she wanted to interrogate him. She did not want him to be found dead. And apparently, Shadow Guard is wanted for a bunch of crimes. And he's like, I don't care. As long as we do our work, we're perfectly fine. Yeah, this bad can look down your organization, dude. But really good episodes. Thoroughly enjoyed them. The only thing excited about is the fact that Claire is not here's the thing. Claire has not been much of a character in these first 10 episodes since episode 2. Like, her appearances over the course of like episodes 8 through 10, at least 3 through 10, is mostly been just one scene cameos. She gets like 2 lines, and that's basically it for Claire. Though if I'm running a line, she's going to play a big role in her next arc. But I don't know what it is yet, but I know she plays a role. Yep. So yeah, that's that particular review. Next up is going to be a Comic Corner. And then after that, it's going to be 100 Girlfriends. Yep. Where I'm going to watch the final episode of the season for that one. And still hoping Moonlight Fantasy come out. Since by the fact it was coming yesterday, but never did. I don't know why it never did. Crunchyroll says it did. It did. It's supposed to come out that day. And I check on the service. Not there. Don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to ask them about that. So, I'll see you on the next video. Oh, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay?